My name is Mary Ann Ogeyi Ngban. I have worked in the corporate society for over 30 years. And basically, I worked for about 20 years in the pensions and gratuity department of my organization. And based on that, we experienced a lot of people who were still serving and those who are already in post-retirement life, and we saw a lot of experiences there. And I think we are here today to look at some of those experiences.
My name is Ayuba Bello. I was born in September 1963, and I've been working in the private sector before switching over to public sector in 1994. And since 1994 to September last year, I've been working the public service. I retired from service in September 2023, and I'll be living a quiet and peaceful life after retirement.
Mr. Ayuba, today we are going to discuss career crossroads. And how did you find yourself as a career professional? How did you find yourself in the career that you were in until retirement?
Yes, thank you, Consultant Mary. When I finished secondary school, I was inspired to read accountancy by two of my seniors. One was like a stepfather, then the other one like a brother. Both of them are accountants. And I love the independence they had when they were working as accountants. I enjoyed it, and I said, okay, let me to go and read accountancy. If you look at what I read in my secondary school, I read science. So people were wondering, why are you not reading engineering, medicine, or one of those sciences? But I said I wanted to read accounting. And I went, after my university, I went and joined a firm of chartered accountants. Then I qualified. After qualifying, I had ensured I worked for 3 years so that I can get my practicing license. After I worked for the 3 years, I crossed into a bank. So I was in bank from 1991 to 1994 before I moved over to public service in 1994. That is how I came into the public service. And coming into the public service, it was one of my uncle that encouraged me to come to the public service because they were looking for somebody from my area. That is how I crossed over to the public service.
Wow. That has been a long time of experience. So the experience is so loaded.
Yes, ma'am.
So it's quite impressive. As an accountant, as a career professional. So you have a lot of experience to give out to those who are still in service, and they would need this kind of experience coming from outside, from the bank and into the civil service. And as in, Nigeria needs people like you. Nigeria needs to hear from people like you, because a lot of Nigerians who have gone into civil service and come out with a lot of experience, they have retired into post-retirement, and Nigeria still needs them to come in and impact those who are still serving. And I believe that it will take the civil service to another level to impact the civil service positively. So working in the civil service, we found out that from our experience that a lot of people are not always ready to go into retirement. And I was in one office yesterday, and I met somebody who told me that he has up to 25 years more to retire. And he was behaving as if he's so happy, you know, to see that he has many years more to serve. And they never knew that one day those 25 years will become like 20 hours. A lot of them are not ready to go into retirement. And in Nigeria, some people, because of the fear of the unknown, a lot of people don't want to retire. When it comes to retirement, they become jittery, and because they are not prepared to go into retirement. Many people are not prepared to be retired. So how did you approach retirement when you found out that your time has come for you to retire? What was, you know, your experience at that time?
Thank you, Cousin Mary. In 2011, when I was working with my director of finance and account, anytime we are discussing, he will say, I have 8 years left to work as a director because of the tenure policy on tenure policy for directors and permanent secretary.
Yeah.
So anytime we are discussing with him, he says he has 8 years to leave service. So that is a constant reminder now made me to be conscious of the fact that one day we too will be retiring.
Exactly.
Then in 2018, I had a colleague, director human resources management, that for every month he was saving half of his salary. So when I asked him why, he said that he want to prepare for the first 2 years after retirement because he knows his benefits will not be ready until after 2 years. So he started saving money from when he had about 2 more years to retire. So he started saving something so that when he retires, he said he will. There will not be much different in his lifestyle after retirement. So these two people actually affected my preparation for retirement.
Okay, that was very, very thoughtful of you to prepare before retirement. But we found out, I personally found out that a lot of people start preparing for retirement when it is too late. Some wait till it is 5 years, some wait until 2 years. You never can have enough to prepare, you know, to keep aside for retirement when it is just 2 years. I found out that in the civil service where we are coming from, in the public service where we are coming from, people we are supposed to be prepared for retirement as they are coming into the public service, so that when they have 20 years, 15 years to serve, they are aware that they need to live a life or prepare themselves for the kind of lifestyle they want to live in retirement. You find out that people have already cut out a particular lifestyle for themselves when they are working. And when they are in retirement, they need to have enough of funds to be able to maintain that kind of lifestyle. Yes. But when the preparation is not done adequately, when finances are not kept aside to maintain that kind of lifestyle, then you find out that people retire into a life of financial dependence on the community, on their children. And you know that in Africa, a lot of people believe that you have many children so that when you retire, these children will become those that you will depend on after retirement. So some of our cultures, some of our beliefs are like that. And some people train their children believing that these children will be the ones to, you know, take care of them in retirement. You understand? But times have changed. So the children of today still struggle to take care of themselves. So they don't really have enough to take care of their own dependent parents. And so the parents retire to become financially dependent on the children. And that impacts on them negatively. You understand? Because the funds will not be there to take care of them adequately, because they need to take care of their health, their well-being. They need to take care of their rent. Some people don't even have roof over their heads.
Yes.
You understand? They didn't prepare for it. Some will take their gratuity, and then it is at that time they begin to build a house that they want to live in retirement. A lot of them have lost their lives from our experience, because the funds they get will not be enough to complete the house they want to move in to live in retirement. So they come out and become financially dependent on the community, and become vulnerable people. You understand? So while people are working, it is important for them to understand, to realize that funds are supposed to be adequately kept aside in preparation for post-retirement. We're going to take a short break now, and when we come back, we'll continue this discussion with Mr. Ayuba B. Bello.
One Voice Africa.
Welcome back to our discussions on Career Crossroads. And I want to ask you, Mr. Ayuba, based on our discussion so far, do you have any comments that you would like to make?
Yes, Consultant Mary, thank you very much. I will start my comment by giving an example. I had a colleague that was getting married, that was marrying a third wife at the age of 60.
Wow.
So I asked him, why are you getting married now, knowing that you are going to have children? You are likely going to have children with this new wife. He said, yes. His own children will take care of the children that they are going to have with the last wife.
Yeah.
So it's true. Some of us believe that our children will take care of us in retirement. And that is why they don't plan towards saving for post-retirement life. Another factor is the pension, the amount, especially for the real public service, is so small. Somebody that is receiving, for example, maybe 100,000 in a month, by the time he retires, he will be taking 30, 25. How will he adjust?
You see?
Because
these are some of the problems we are looking at.
Because the contribution from his own personal contribution and the contribution from government is very low. And you know, there is so much problem, especially with inflation. The pensions are not normally adjusted promptly, as salary reviews are being carried out for people that are working.
Yeah.
For pensioners, it normally delays. Personally, I was thinking that I will reach the post of permanent secretary. And when you are becoming a permanent secretary, you retire with your salary, just like the generals in the army. But it is not so with the other level. Yes. So that is the reality, that what you are earning, you may not be receiving up to even 1/3 of what you were
earning when you were serving.
Yes. Secondly, if you look at the National Housing Fund scheme, the amount you contribute cannot build anything for you. And they are not meeting up requests for mortgages from staff that are, from employees that are working. Since they have established the Federal Mortgage Bank, how many staff have they given houses to on mortgage?
You see,
it is not encouraging. So these factors actually affect the pensioner they affect the staff in retirement. So there's need to actually plan for it.
You see, so when we now talk about planning for post-retirement, we now find out that even at retirement, the pension that they are being paid is not even enough to take care of them at retirement, because some of them were not able to even build a house because the funds they have, even while they were working, is not enough for them to get themselves a home. Like the Federal Savings, how do you call it?
Federal Mortgage Bank.
Federal Mortgage Bank. I don't think many people will be able to access the funds there to be able to build a home for themselves that they will use after retirement. These are some of the challenges. And we find out that in spite of that, many people still get to marry new wives during when they are getting into retirement. And you find out that by the time they are retired, they are still paying school fees.
Yes.
A lot of people are still paying school fees for children who are less than 10 years, and they are still marrying new wives, even when the funds are not adequate for them to take care of themselves during retirement. These are some of the challenges that the Nigerian pensioners face. So it is quite amazing. I would like to ask you, looking back at your many years of service in the public service, what are your achievements? What are your accomplishments that you would say you are so proud of?
Thank you, Consultant Mary. Like I said in the introduction, I work with the private sector. I was in audit firm. Then I work in 2 banks before I move over to the public service. Coming to the public service, with my experience from the private sector, it was like I came to a new, what will I say now? I came to a new experience with the civil service, with the public service, especially with work ethics and meeting up deadlines. In most public service, once it is closing time, you find out that the employees will start going home and say that whatever is remaining will complete it tomorrow. But that is not so in private sector. Private sector, you work based on work schedule, deadlines, and all other factors. So once I joined the public service, I had to start guiding the employees that were working with me, especially the subordinate, that for each day, we have to complete the tasks we have assigned for that day. So as we were doing that, there were some changes, they were changing, there was this thing, and I was very happy that they were changing, and their working lives were positively affected. And most importantly, in 2005, the organization I was working with was given out to a foreign company on concession. So we had to work with the foreign partners, and we were there with them before the concession was terminated. In the process of taking over the company by the concessionaires, that is when I would say I really played a great role in the company, because we had to make sure that the correct book values, the correct assets, the correct investments of government were reflected and taken over by the investor. And we kept the books properly. And it was during the time of these technical concessionaires that the operations of the company were computerized.
Yeah.
So I was involved in that computerization process, and it was really a good accomplishment that I really enjoyed. Moving over to the real Federal Civil Service, at least with my background work in the private sector, in a public company, at least I was able to adjust, and I really enjoyed the work. We were able to mentor some people, especially people that are working under us, people that are colleagues. At least we made them to change some of their attitude. There was a time I was working with one of the deputy directors. He casually said he prayed none of his children should ever work for the Federal Civil Service. Then I asked him why. He said, I'm about to retire in 2 years. What do I have? There's nothing to show. So he said he prays that none of his children should work in the Federal Civil Service. But I was telling him, no, it is not like that. Maybe it depends on where he was working. Then he told me of his experiences from where he has worked. He said there was a place he worked. The boss, his boss, I mean, the immediate boss, let me say, okay, the head of the department didn't like his immediate boss. He liked him better. So when that man was transferred and deployed, the man really made sure that he suffered. He suffered it because the head of the department was using him instead of the immediate his immediate boss, and he suffered it when the head of the department was transferred. And I had cause to travel with him one time like that. So when we were giving our duty tour allowance, when we came back, he said he wanted to go and give his boss to decide what he would do with the money. So I was asking him, you are the one that travel. Why should somebody determine what you are going to do with the allowance they gave you? He said that is how they used to do. So I said, I cannot see why you didn't enjoy the civil service because of the people you have worked with. There shouldn't have been need for you to go and tell your boss, what do you do with the money? If you want to buy the person something, you will buy, but not that you go and ask the person what to do with the money. So using him as an example, I can say he didn't live a fulfilled life in the civil service, and that's why he was complaining, because of the people he has worked with. But for me, I enjoyed the service. I was able to work with people and able to mentor them, and I too was mentored by some people, so I enjoyed the civil service.
Yes, you see the place of mentorship and succession planning. It's very important. It helps to also build the career of your subordinates that work under you as well, and give them a path, a direct, give them guidance and direction in their career, which is very, very important for people who are in civil service to be able to know how to chart their path as career professionals. I want to appreciate you, Mr. Ayuba, for the kind of achievement that you recorded while you were in civil service and your accomplishment. It is very, very important that you have superiors who are ready to inspire their subordinates and people who are ready to guide. It's not easy to come across superiors who have the time to mentor their subordinates. And I want to really appreciate you. And in a program like this, we would like people to take, a clue from people like you, so that in the civil service, we'll continue to have people who are well equipped to give their best while in the service. So I want to appreciate you so much, sir, for that achievement. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's why you are living a fulfilled life today, and you are happy in retirement. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Consultant Mary.
Welcome back. I want to welcome the audience back to this program on Career Crossroads. And this is going to be my final question to Mr. Ayuba B. Bello. I've been having a nice time with him, getting a lot from his experience while he was in the public service before he went into retirement. And my last question for you, sir, is when you were approaching retirement, Did you really have some fears, uncertainties while approaching retirement? And if you really had, how were you able to address them?
Thank you, Consultant Mary. I had initial concerns and uncertainties about retirement. One of them is fear of not saving enough money for retirement. Two, paying for health facilities and services after retirement. Where will one get the money to pay for health facilities after retirement? The issue of inflation, the money you are going to get as pension, considering the high rates of inflation in Nigeria, will it be enough to sustain you? Another concern was legacy planning. After retirement or after leaving the service, what are the legacies you are going to leave? What will people remember you for? So it's one of my concern. Then lifestyle adjustments after retirement. How do you prepare for the life in post-retirement years? And then another thing is delay in payment of your entitlement. We know in Nigeria that the pension and gratuity are not paid immediately. There are delays. So it was really one of my concern and uncertainty. How I try to address them is to start saving early enough. I started saving early enough so that I will not, these concerns will not be too much when I go into retirement. Then secondly, I started thinking of investing wisely. Buying shares, investing in landed property and other things. Then thirdly, planning for school children. My planning for the life of my, planning for education of my children. From day one, I didn't have many children. I only have 3. And by the grace of God, before I retired, all of them have finished their university. So I didn't have issue of training children after retirement. The only one I have are for maybe late brother, late sisters, and something like that. So I actually planned for this. The another thing I took cognizance of is budgeting. Thinking of the income that I'm going to have, and then try to match it with the expenses I'm expecting after during retirement. The income I'm expecting from the investment in shares, landed property, and other income or what I was thinking of, and then I try to match it with
your lifestyle.
With my lifestyle. Then secondly, I still try to maintain connection with colleagues and friends, especially in seeking for favor, connections and whatever it is. I still try to maintain connection with colleagues, with friends, so that if there's anything happening, you can easily be involved or they can easily call upon you to offer 1 or 2 things. So this is how I address my fears and concern.
Wow. Mr. Ayuba, that was great. That was perfect. There's no how you can make such plans for retirement and you will not end up living a fulfilled and balanced life. You started from looking at the lifestyle you want to live in retirement and you began to keep some things aside, that a budget that will match with the lifestyle that you want to live. after retirement. And then you talked about the legacy that you want to leave behind when you retire. And then you were particular about the budget, how to create a budget that will match that lifestyle. And there are some other points that were key that you mentioned. And that is exactly what we are here to talk about. And also to help our audience out there who may still be working, who are coaches, career professionals, and entrepreneurs. We believe that some of the points that have been raised here today will go a long way to impact their lives and help them to prepare adequately for post-retirement. At this stage, we want to talk about the entrepreneurization, which is the title of the program that we are having today. Entrepreneurization is a message. It's like a revolution that will help people who are still in active service, whether you are coaches, you are career professionals or entrepreneurs. You should be, you should understand that there comes a day when you will not want to work. You just want to relax and enjoy your time with your children, your loved ones in retirement. But how do you achieve that? Entrepreneurization is a message that will bring to career professionals that will help them to discover their dreams, help them to unleash their potentials through the expertise that they already have, doing the things they know best, doing the things they love, doing the things they have passion in doing, to create extra wealth, to create extra income, to create extra revenue that will help them to prepare ahead for retirement. Entrepreneurization is a program where we believe that our target audience will like to look out for when we come again next time, so that they will continue to learn how they can have a balanced and fulfilled life in retirement, and how they can create their own wealth, how they can, wealth is not about having so much money. Wealth is about being happy. Wealth is about having joy. Wealth is about being contented with what you have. Thank you very much. I am Marianne Ogeyi Ngban, your host on Career Crossroads in Entrepreneurization. Thank you for watching.